Hey guys, welcome back to Memo Makes. This time we've got an unboxing of a couple of products. Some tape. Believe it or not, we're unboxing tape. This is cloth tape. There's another name that people are calling this type of tape, but it's an automotive tape that car manufacturers are using now on cars. It's not like elastic black tape or electrical tape that you're used to. This has like a cloth fiber on it, so it's pretty good stuff. I'll be showing you more of this and what it's about. We're also going to be unboxing this KZYEE. I don't know how you would pronounce that. Is it KZYEE or KZYEE? The KM10 probe. This is a knockoff or a clone, I guess, of the Power Probe, which I have. I have the Power Probe 4, I believe. This is my attempt to get a second unit for my location B, which is Chikarka's shop. You all know Chikarkas. He's famous around these parts. You can see him in some of our other videos. We do a lot of work at his shop, so you'll see him in a couple of videos. And this is just a generic made in China. Well, isn't everything made in China? So I guess maybe just generic then. This is a panel removal kit. It's a plastic kit and it comes with a couple of picks. It comes with a few tools. So we're going to open it up and we're going to take a look at it. The review will be coming down the line as we use these products. The tape, the tester, and the trim removal tool. This is a pretty easy thing to review. They either work or they don't. They break off real easy if they're no good. But let's go ahead and unbox these. Alright guys, so first off we got the tape. It says here, made in China, 4 rolls, wire loom, some abbreviation. It says heat proof, 19 millimeter by 15 meter, 4 pieces in here. Alright, so like I said before, this is just cloth lined tape, and it's made for harnesses or for bundling wire, in my case in automotive applications. So there's 4 pieces in here. They're pretty stuck to each other. Dang, that's pretty stuck there pretty good. Okay, so this stuff is what they use on newer vehicles. The wiring harnesses are now taped with this kind of wiring. If I could just find the end here. Here it is. So if you're familiar with electrical tape, dang, this stuff is hard to make come off, huh? Guess I'll have to get used to it. So you see here how there's cloth lining it, and it's hard to stretch, and it rather breaks before it stretches, so there's no stretchiness to it. You have to pull the smack out of it. Okay, you have to pull the shit out of it in order to rip it. Whereas electrical tape, it just, it stretches and tears right up. And so that elasticity on electrical tape is good in some applications, bad on others. As soon as heat gets to that electrical tape, usually it starts getting all sticky and it stretches more and it loses its capability to hold the wire loom together. This stuff, because of that tensile strength now, once it is on a couple of turns of it becomes very strong, and you'd be hard pressed to tear this stuff up without purposely doing so. I mean, even using a razor blade, once this is layered onto each other, this is very difficult to take off. You can cut it just as easy as you can. No, not as easy. You have to put some more strength on it. Not like electrical tape. And you can unwind it if need be. But like I said, it's pretty good stuff. It's pretty resistant. So why do we have a need for this product? Well, newer vehicles come with this product. So whenever I do automotive accessories like lighting, car stereo security, I like for my wiring to look exactly like factory wiring. So that's why we're going to be using this stuff instead of electrical tape on most newer vehicles. Now, this is a lot more expensive than average electrical tape, but there are some electrical tapes out there that are just as expensive as this stuff. Now, once again, I'm going to be trying this product out, so I don't know how good it is yet. This pack here was something like 11 bucks. So you're looking at like almost $3 a roll. Is it worth it? Well, in quality jobs, yes, it's worth it, because whenever you do a quality installation, well, it always shows in the end when you take the little details like this and integrate them into your work. If ever anybody looks at the wiring or inspects the wiring, they will see that it's done properly. Not only that, but if you take care to do things properly, the installation lasts longer. And I myself warranty my labor for as long as you own the vehicle. It doesn't matter how long you own it. My labor is warranted. So that's why products like this help me do a better job. Once again, I'll give you a close-up. Let me make sure that we've got focus on this. All right, let's give that another shot. There you can see a close-up of the product. There you go. That's a good shot of it there. So you see the fiber lining. That gives it a lot more strength, and like I said, once you loop it around each other, once you loop it around itself, it becomes very, very strong. Plus, it is a lot better looking than electrical tape. I mean, I'll wrap this around, and like I said, the reason why I'm doing it is because new vehicles have this wiring loom on them, so we do want to emulate factory looking wiring harnesses. So, like I said, we will be doing a further review once we have longevity to report on. So, next, you see where it's made. Everything is made there. So this is sold by a company called, the seller was Kohree.us. Let's see if you can, there we go. That's Kohree right there. So again, this is an Amazon purchase for which you'll have a link in the description. And what this is a panel or trim panel removal tool set. Mostly it's going to consist of plastic pieces. I call them bones. That's a term that I learned when I had a tint shop, an automotive tint shop. And the workers called these pieces of plastic, they called them bone. Mostly they were just like this one here. And this, the tinters used for a lot of prying open plastics and removing plastics. So this is a very varied set of different tools. You've got all kinds of different angles, different sharpnesses, different curvatures of these types of tools. Obviously you've got different widths for when you need a wide prying tool set. So what this plastic will bend or take a mark on itself rather than marking the pieces that you're trying to remove, or at least that's what they're supposed to do. So again, we won't know how they perform until we use them. All sorts of different applications here on this set. Got one with a handle so you could pull on stuff rather than just pry. And the ones I use the most are this pointed one in case I ever need to get into something that's a very small hole. And like I said, these, if I do anything to it, it'll take damage rather than damage the other parts. I use this one quite a bit. These are the two I use the most, I would say. Let me see. I think it's this one here and this one here. I use this one to pry and wedge things apart, and then this one slides a little bit deeper when the clip that holds the panel is a little bit further in. And I use this one a lot for narrower parts, and then this one's a good jumping piece. Like I said, there's lots of different ones. You see the they will come in different thicknesses of the point. This one's round and thick. This one's sharp and it goes to a very narrow end. So there's a few of these on here. There is one that I don't use a lot, but it's there in case you need it for when you need to get into places that are like sticky. Sometimes you'll need to remove a little sticky layer of a sealant that's a non-hardening sealant. So that's what this knife or serrated looking one is for. You kind of serrate that rubber so you can get under it, and then you can, then you can wedge under it. So that's there in case you need it. I don't use it a lot, but like I said, there's lots of these in here. There's a couple of different applications. These are the panel removal tools. I call these panel poppers, and I've got a couple of different versions of this. There's lots of different variations of it. The length, the angle, and then the U part of this. There are lots of different ones. I like them smooth. Some of them are serrated or rough. Like this one's rough here on the top, but not on the bottom. This one, which is the longer and more stout, this is significantly more stout. So this one here is for when you have something that's a lot harder to pop out. You'd use this larger one, and this is smooth on both sides, and the U is a little bit different also in size. You see it there. So that's those there. And like I said, this is a pretty straightforward set. These aren't complicated tools or anything like that. Now this set also comes with a couple of bonus things. These here are for, generally they're for stereo locks, the factory radios. Sometimes they're locked in there, and all you see, you don't see any screw holes for them, and they're not bolted in, they're actually just clipped in there. So you got to slide these little locks in there, and there's a couple of different shapes for them. Now most vehicles don't have these anymore. They usually bolt on, but they're in this toolkit, so we'll hang on to them. And if we ever have a use for them, well, I'll show you that use. I've had a similar set for months now, and I've never used these for stereo removals. They just don't come like that anymore. Now this one also came with a set of picks. Now everybody likes a good set of picks. This one's, well, as stout as it needs to be. Thin handles, long. I have big hands, and they're pretty much the length of my grip, so that's pretty good. So you got the 45, that's not 45, that's 90 degrees. You've got the straight one. You can use it as a scratch awl. You've got the round hook one. And now this is the 45 degree one. So that's kind of a shorty. I have another set that's longer, so I don't see a lot of use for something that short. But it's here, and hopefully we'll get some use out of it. So we're going to set these in here. Again, this is just the unboxing. We will be reviewing the products as we use them. So hopefully we'll get some use out of these. You'll see me use these in upcoming videos. And so that's it. That's the unboxing. Oh wait, one more product. You saw us unbox a set of these pin removal tools on another video. So this is a small set of terminal removal keys, I guess you would call them. This is like a shortened version of the ones that I showed you the other day or on the other video. It's got a couple of the round keys for round terminals. See those there? And it's got a bunch of flats. And it's got, looks like 3, 4 of the double pin ones. There we are, 4 of the double pin ones. And looks like 4 of the single pin ones. Now these are the smaller ones. There's no large ones in here, but they are different in size. These are not all the same size. They look similar, but I can physically tell that there's a difference between them in size. So for whatever that's worth, it's in here. So this is supposed to be 32 pieces. I'm not going to count them. They're probably 32 pieces counting these. Counting these. So there's a little filler in there. I consider these filler. I consider 2 or 3 of these are probably filler. These, I think that once you get to where you use them, well, you no longer consider them filler. So I don't think any of these are filler. It's a pretty varied set. So this is probably as much as you need in trim removal tools. There's other more specific tools out there, but this is a budget trim removal tool set. Links are in the description for this as well. Check the price out there. I got a really good deal on this because I bought it during Prime Day. Prime Day is over now, so check out the link in the description for the pricing on this one. Alright, so this is a testing probe or a multimeter. They describe it as a multimeter. I don't know if it's a multimeter. It does have a couple of different functions. It's made by a company called KZYEE or KZYEE or something like that. There's the spelling on it. And it's the KM10 model. They make a couple of different models. This I want as a secondary unit, as a backup unit to my power probe, so that I can leave this at location B. It says it has a power range of anywhere from 12 to 24 volts provided by vehicle. And it does a couple of different functions. It says you can test power injections. It says measuring, ground testing, polarity checking, continuity testing, and component activation. It says it reads AVO meter, voltage, current, and resistance. It has a light, so I haven't unboxed this, so this is all of us looking at this for the first time. Oh man, it comes with a case. There you go. So Lizard Plus comes with a case. I do use the case for my power probe. I lug it around, so I do get some use out of the case. So I wager I'll get use out of this case as well. We have a website link here on the box itself, a brief description of the product, a good label on it. To tell you the truth, my power probe, the label on it sucked. It came off really fast. So this is a good thing here that the company goes ahead and puts their name on the product. I do like that. So average case strength. Clips, they're secure. They don't just fall off. Doesn't slam open or opens when you slam it. That's always a plus. Nice sponge in there to keep everything in place. Instructions, which we probably won't use. Nice and tidy up in here. So, my power probe, I use quite a bit. My power probe was expensive, worth every penny, but I do see a problem here. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't. Well, I see a plus here. So my power probe, it has the probe on it, and you can take it off. Actually, I think I have my power probe on hand. I will show it to you. Alright, guys, so I went and I got my Power Probe 4 so that we can compare a couple of things. Now, right away, I'm noticing a lot of differences here. So this is usually priced around 80 bucks. Okay? If you go to the affiliate link in the description, that's what you will find it for. I got it on sale on Prime Day. That's when I decided to pull the trigger on it. So 80 bucks, regular price. This is 255 bucks. Now the case, you'll notice this is a little bigger case, but the quality on these cases, this is a lot better than this. Okay. Now first you see this is kind of raggedy. You know, people may say, well, you've owned this for a while, Memo, and you know, it's still there. Yeah, you're right, maybe. But this started right away. Look at this branding. That's more pride in your product. The case, this is how this opens. Just this one clip. If I were not very careful with this thing, which I always am, I mean this would crap out really fast. Look at the hinging; it's just plastic. It's just flex plastic. Look at this; it has 2 locking tabs, and these are actual locking, movable, hinged, pinned tabs, not just flex plastic. Okay, this is a lot better construction to handle. Well, on this one I have to pull it out to grab it, and it's kind of narrow. This one is already there. It's ergonomic, and my hand fits in it pretty good. This has pinned hinges. Okay, this one is just that melted just that plastic that's gonna become brittle and break. So another difference, again, in the case. This has this little sponge. It's a little detail, but it keeps things in place. Alright, so the Power Probe does not have that. I could drop one in there, yes, you're probably right. But there's a lot of cabling in here, and I just haven't gone through and done that. So another difference. I noticed this right away as I was unboxing this. I started looking for the tip. I thought it was missing. It's not missing. It's on the unit. It has a place for the tip as it's stored. So you just pull this out. There's your tip. You put the tip on here. Slide it in there and it's in place. Okay. You want to store it. You just pull it out. Slide it into place and it goes in there. It actually clips in there. So, you know, that's a pretty good option as far as I'm concerned. The Power Probe does not have that. It does not have a place for it. You can pull it out because you can accessorize these tips. You can use different tips for it that have, I don't know, just different applications of pros. But there's nowhere to store this. You can leave it in there. You know, of course you can just drop it in there, but I like the fact that it has that. Okay, another giant plus on this less expensive unit. The Power Probe 4 comes with, I think it's also a 20-foot length of cable that's attached to it, and then it has a constant ground probe. This always has ground, and again, this is removable. You can attach different tips to it. I believe it has a fuse here, a replaceable fuse, and then it has, this is the other end of it, it has the alligator clips that go onto the car battery. So they sell, I believe, a different plug for here where you unplug this and you could buy the piece like this, but that plugs into the cigarette lighter of the vehicle. This one already comes with it. Indicator light so that you'll see if there's power. Then you plug that into the probe. And you don't have to open the hood unless you were already going to open it for some reason. Again, we'll pull out the tip. Put it on there. It's a pretty good snug fit. That's a plus for me. Alright. So it's obviously got a protective film on here, which I'm not going to peel off until I have to. It's got the alligator clips just like the Power Probe does. These are a little bit larger, more stout than the Power Probe. This comes with a large extension. It also comes with a constant ground terminal. Alright, so the one on the Power Probe has a removable tip. That's a plus. This one does not. This one comes with a very rinky-dink, kind of crappy alligator clip. Okay, so I guess that is very much a negative for this one. I do ground things out to test circuits. Let's say you want to test the light bulb. You ground this on the light bulb's ground terminal, then you press this against the other terminal, hit positive, and that would light up the bulb if it worked. And if it didn't, well, then you would diagnose that is a problem. So this, let me measure the length on this. This is 6'18", no, 6'12", 18. All right. So this here is 20 feet, just like on the Power Probe. But guess what? It comes with an additional extension, and this looks to be about 20 feet. I'm guessing you want me to check it. Or maybe you don't care. So we will measure this against my standard. So that's 6, 12, 18, 20 feet. So we've got 40 feet of cable versus 20 feet of cable on the Power Probe. We've got the definitely better tip storage feature, the definitely better cigarette lighter adapter included, the better case. So is it a better product? I don't know. I've used the Power Probe I've owned it for over a year and a half. I've only started using it about a year ago. You know, I was like, you know, hesitant to use it because it was so expensive, but you know, the tools are for that purpose. I bought them to use them. So once again, I look for value. This is my secondary unit, and we will see how this fares. I'll show you some of the features that it has. You're supposed to be able to test voltage on the tip. You're supposed to be able to measure the voltage that something has. So let's say you want to check a charging system, you know, well, you would power this up, and you would put this tip to either a positive or a ground, and it would tell you if it's grounded properly. It would tell you the voltage here. I'll show you some of those functions once I have a vehicle to test it on. It's supposed to show you resistance. You could test resistance in circuits, or a resistance if you need to test a resistance. You would ground it and put one end on the ground and one end on the probe, and it would show you the resistance in ohms. You can power things with positive or negative current, or 12 volts positive or 12 volt ground. This button, I believe, is for the light, and we'll see what that button is for once we test it. So there it is, guys. That's the unboxing there. Of course, we're going to show you a proper review on them, or a half-assed review on them, as we use them, all of them. The tape, I believe it's called gaff tape. Is it gaff tape, maybe? Or maybe it's just cloth tape. The probe, the Power Probe, or Super Probe, they call it. And of course, the trim removal tools. Stick around, watch some of our other videos. We got more tool reviews, more car stuff, more bad jokes, more bad video. So come back, watch some of our other stuff.